Most people start their mornings the same way, hitting snooze, scrolling their phones, and rushing through the chaos of the day. And then they wonder why life feels overwhelming. But the Stoics lived differently. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus treated every morning as sacred, a chance to sharpen the mind and direct the soul. Today, I'll show you 5 powerful Stoic morning practices that can completely transform your life. Do you ever wake up feeling tired, distracted, or unmotivated before the day has even begun? You're not alone. Drop a comment below and let me know which city and country you're watching from. I'd love to connect with you personally. And while you're here, remember to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell for more timeless Stoic wisdom every week. The truth is simple. The way you start your morning often determines the way you live your life. The Stoics knew this, and that's why they built powerful rituals to guide their minds every day. So let's dive into 5 Stoic morning practices that can bring strength, clarity, and calm into your life. Number 1. Rise with purpose, not excuses. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, struggled with mornings just like we do. In Meditations, he wrote about the battle between staying in bed and rising to face the day. He reminded himself, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. This wasn't just about productivity. For Marcus, rising early was an act of duty, an acknowledgement that life is short and every day matters. He knew that comfort whispers excuses, but purpose demands action. Think about your own mornings. How often do you hit the snooze button, telling yourself you'll get up in just 5 more minutes? But those minutes turn into wasted hours, and the day begins with weakness instead of strength. The Stoics would say, that's the first test of the day, and if you win it, the rest of the day follows. Rising with purpose means remembering why you're alive. Marcus didn't say, get up because you have to answer emails. He said, get up because you were born to act, to think, to serve, to live as a human being. So here's how you can practice this Stoic habit. When your alarm rings, pause for a moment. Remind yourself, I wasn't made to hide under the covers. I was made for duty, for growth, for virtue. Instead of asking, can I sleep a little longer? What can I build today? And don't underestimate the ripple effect. Rising with purpose sets the tone for everything else. You walk into your day with clarity, not confusion. You choose action over hesitation, discipline over laziness. It's your first small victory, and the Stoics believed that small victories, repeated daily, create a life of greatness. The next time your alarm rings, don't give in to excuses. Remember Marcus. Remember your purpose. Rise not just from your bed, but into your life. Number 2, reflection before action. The Stoics believed that the mind must be guided before the body moves. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings not by rushing into action, but by reflecting, reminding himself of what truly mattered. His private writings, which we now call meditations, were never meant for others. They were his way of preparing his soul before stepping into the chaos of the world. This is the second Stoic morning practice, reflection before action. Most of us grab our phones the moment we wake up. We check emails, social media notifications. In that instant, our minds are hijacked. We're already reacting to the world instead of directing it. The Stoics would call this slavery. True freedom is beginning the day by asking, what is in my control today? And what is not? You don't need hours for this. Even 5 minutes of reflection can shift your entire day. Try journaling one simple line. Today, I will focus only on what is within my control. Or ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Seneca advised us to examine our lives each day, to review where we stumbled and where we stood firm. Morning reflection is about setting intention, while evening reflection is about evaluation. Together, they form the bookends of a life lived with clarity. When you reflect before you act, you stop being a slave to distractions. You choose your path before the world chooses it for you. And that is how you begin to live as a Stoic, deliberately, not accidentally. Number 3, Visualize obstacles, premeditatio malorum. The third Stoic morning practice is one of the most powerful, premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. In simple terms, it means imagining the challenges you will face before they happen. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." He didn't write this to become bitter, but to prepare his mind. That way, he wouldn't be surprised or disappointed when challenges arrived. He expected them and was ready. Think of your own mornings. How often do you rush into the day with fragile optimism, only to be crushed by the first obstacle, an angry email, traffic, criticism, or rejection? The Stoics would say, it's not the obstacle that hurts you, but your unprepared mind. By visualizing obstacles in advance, you take away their power. If you expect difficulty, you won't be shocked when it appears. Instead, you'll be calm, ready, steady. This isn't pessimism, it's strength training for the mind. A soldier doesn't hope the battlefield will be easy. He trains for the hardest fight. Stoics believed life should be approached the same way. So each morning ask yourself, what difficulties might I face today, and how will I respond with wisdom, courage, and patience? See the obstacle before it arrives, and decide in advance who you will be. When the moment comes, you'll be ready, not to complain but to rise. Number 4, align with virtue, not distraction. Every morning, most people reach for their phones. They scroll through endless feeds, check likes, or drown in notifications. But Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus would have called this a waste of life. The Stoics believed that the highest goal wasn't pleasure, wealth, or reputation, it was virtue. This is the 4th Stoic morning practice. Align your day with virtue, not distraction. The Stoics defined virtue through 4 pillars: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Every decision could be tested against these principles. Ask yourself, is this wise? Is this courageous? Is this just? Is this self-controlled? Imagine beginning every morning with that filter before you act. Suddenly, distractions lose their power. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Simple, clear, uncompromising. Instead of checking your phone, try this ritual. Recite the 4 virtues to yourself. Choose one as your guiding theme for the day. For example, if you know you'll face criticism, remind yourself of courage. If you'll make difficult choices, remind yourself of wisdom. The truth is, the world is full of distractions designed to steal your attention. But virtue keeps you anchored. Each morning is an opportunity to live deliberately, to rise above shallow impulses, and to embody strength of character. Distractions make you weaker. Virtue makes you free. And when you align your mornings with virtue, the rest of your day will follow. Number 5, remember mortality, memento mori. The final Stoic morning practice is the most profound. Memento mori, remember that you will die. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." To the Stoics, reflecting on death wasn't dark, it was empowering. It reminded them that time is precious, and that wasting a morning meant wasting a piece of life that could never be recovered. Most people wake up and act as if tomorrow is guaranteed. They put off their dreams, their discipline, their purpose. But the Stoics knew better. Life is fragile, and each day might be the last. That's why they lived with urgency, not panic, but clarity. When you practice memento mori each morning, you stop procrastinating. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You stop living for approval. Instead, you ask, if this were my last day, how would I live it? This doesn't mean chasing pleasure or recklessness. For the Stoics, it meant living with virtue, love, and focus. It meant spending their hours wisely, because once gone, they could never return. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, pause. Whisper to yourself, I could leave life right now. Then let that truth guide you to live, not half-heartedly, but fully. Memento mori isn't about fearing death. It's about fearing a wasted life. And when you remember this each morning, you'll never waste another sunrise. Mornings can either be the most wasted part of your day or the most powerful. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't rise to chase distractions or wait for life to happen to them. They rose with purpose. They reflected before acting. They prepared for obstacles, anchored themselves in virtue, and reminded themselves that time was precious. These practices weren't theory. They were survival. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, and endless responsibility, yet his mornings grounded him in strength. Seneca warned that life slips away when we waste it. Epictetus, once a slave, found freedom in his mind every single day. You don't need to be an emperor, a philosopher, or a soldier to apply this. You just need to choose. Tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, will you fall into excuses or rise into purpose? Will you waste another day scrolling, or will you step into clarity and strength? The choice is yours, and every morning it begins again. If this video inspired you, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs stoic strength in their mornings. Comment below, which of these 5 practices will you try tomorrow? I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to go deeper, watch my video on Memento Mori, the ultimate stoic reminder to live fully.